Hey everybody, my name is Reg. Welcome to this edition of Give Yourself Enough Credit. I got something awesome in my hand, I call it coffee. For other people, it might be other things, but either way, it's whatever gets you through the day. Before we get started, I wanted to share some very important dates with you if you are a taxpayer, as I am. And this is like for federal taxes, okay? The 29th of January is Income Tax Credit Awareness Day. You can find out more information about that on irs.gov. On February 12th of this year, that's going to be the start of the individual tax season. So that's a very important date. Usually it's earlier, but it's actually later this go round. The tax filing deadline is still April 15th, as it is most years. I know this past year it got extended to July 15th. That is not the case this year. So the original tax deadline for this year will be April 15th. Now those seeking an extension, they have to April 15th to be able to do that. This is everything I'm describing you. You can find that out on irs.gov. This is like on the federal level. Depending on what state you're in, they will be able to tell you the rules and regulations with regards to that. Tax season is almost upon us, so I figured that would be good for all of us to know. But without further ado, let's dive into this. Everybody knows what a credit score is, or the term you may hear is FICO score. We hear that number. We see it when we apply for things, we look at things, we think about things. Some people's went up, some people's went down. But does everybody know the factors that go into that score? And a lot of people do, but there may be some people who do not. So let's look at it. I just did a little makeshift chart, and for this info segment, it ain't gonna take very long to explain it, but I want to just make sure that you know the basic points of it. Of this chart here, you've got 100%, and it's broken down in percentages. Your biggest part, 35% of it is your payment history. This is your on-time payments, this is late payments, this is no payments. And so this tells the person how reliable you are with your payments, and a lender will know based off of this how dependable will you be if they lend you money, how will you be able to pay it back? This is the indicator that they use. The next one is 30%. This is your amount owed. For many people, the financial term would be liabilities. If you ever hear the term debt to income ratio, this is a lot of things that lenders think about or they're considering when they make a decision on what type of loan that they're going to allow someone to have. And so if someone has income, which is good, the more income the better when it comes to that type of thing. And then on the other column, you got debt. If they feel that the debt that a person is carrying is too high in relation to the income that they're bringing in, that's going to determine what kind of risk it would be to lend money to that person. That's basically how I can explain that one in a nutshell, all right? 10% of it is new credit. And that's any new credit cards, any new loans and stuff like that where the accounts are not very old. Some people, they get a secured credit card if they're trying to build their credit or they're trying to rebuild their credit. So, given that's what I do, I know a little something about that. So if you want to know more about that, just put something in the comment section or hit me up on Facebook. Comment section is good, and I can tell you more. Next thing I want to move on to is the length of credit history. This really refers to the number of accounts that you have, how long they are, how old they are. In this area, they look at how long an account's been open, how long an account has been closed, and sometimes closed accounts affect people's scores, and they may not even know that account's been closed out. Say they move from one place to another and they close out their account and decide to open one somewhere else. They might look at their credit score and notice that that was there, and that might be the one thing that might be making the difference between between a good interest rate and a great one. You just never know. The final one I want to talk to you about is your credit mix. And this is very good as far as having different types of credit. But there's three types of credit when it comes to your credit mix. You've got revolving credit, okay, and that's referring to your credit cards with certain limits. It also refers to like home equity loans. So those are some examples of that. Then you also have installment credit. This makes reference to car loans, mortgages, student loans, stuff like that. Then you have open credit. These are your cell phone bills. These are your utility bills. Even if you're paying rent somewhere, that's considered open credit. And did you know there is a way to make that rental history become a positive trade line on your credit report? There's ways to do that. If you want to know more, hit me up in the comments section, and I'll be able to tell you more. Okay? So we've got the FICO score and the 5 categories and a brief description of what they are and how they factor in to a credit score. Okay? I leave you with this. We're in a new year, and I hope it's a great one for everyone. So, as we move forward, let's not forget everything that we went through, and for many are still going through. A way can be found. Don't be afraid to reach out. Things are definitely are going to get better. This is your man Reg, and I want you to know you need to give yourself enough credit. I love you guys. Take care.